Hey everybody, welcome back to Tech Odyssey. So I got my hands on the Microsoft Surface Duo, which you probably figured out if you saw my unboxing video I did the other day in a plane. So that was a lot of fun. And the phone has kind of been a lot of fun as well. This is my 72-hour review with it. I've been using it for the last 3 days. There are some things I really like about it. There are some things that are really frustrating about it, and we're going to talk about that in this video. But before we get into that, I do want to say, if this is your first time stopping by the channel, I appreciate you being here. If you enjoy the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. Let's talk about the Duo. So with the Surface Duo, a lot of people have had problems with the specs because this phone was announced a year ago and nothing's really changed. It was announced with the Snapdragon 855, 6 gigabytes of RAM, and a 3577 milliamp battery to power the two dual AMOLED displays. Whenever this was announced a year ago, people were like, what, it's got a Snapdragon 855? That's not going to be enough. Or that should be more since it's not coming out for a year. I mean, if you look at the Note 20, the Note 20 Ultra, you look at the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 2, they all have the Snapdragon 865 Plus. And yes, they're just now coming out at the same time. So it's a little curious, but at the same time, I think that's okay. I don't want to hammer down on the specs too much because the important thing is, when it comes to specs, does it do what it's intended to do? Well, yes and no. The thing is I think that if everything were working properly, that the Snapdragon 855 would be perfectly fine, to tell you the truth. But there are some software hangups that we're going to talk about because it does have quirks. I think the best way to describe it are as stumbles. Like, you'll be using it and everything will be kind of going okay for a little bit, and then it's like, oh, there's this glitch, like the screen becomes unresponsive, or the screen doesn't want to bounce back and forth from one side to the other, or it closes an app, or the Google Chrome browser goes into disco strobe like seizure mode and starts flashing really bad. So there are some problems that need to be worked out, but I think largely those can be addressed through software updates. So one of the curious things about this phone, it has a 60-day return policy if you get it through Microsoft. I think that was kind of their veiled way of saying, hey, we know this has problems. Like, we know that there's going to be issues when you get it, but give us some time to work on it. I don't know if a company can really come out and say publicly, look, our product's not ready, so we're giving you 2 months to return it. Let us have some time to fix it. I don't think that that's a really good marketing campaign. And the other thing was, I think it really threw a lot of people off whenever the unboxing videos came out like 2 weeks ago, and they weren't even allowed to show on video, that they couldn't turn the screen on and show the software. That's problematic for me, and that threw up a lot of red flags for me and other people. Before I get too much further into this, should you go buy this device? If you're a tech enthusiast and you have money to spend and you just want to play with it, go for it. I think you're going to enjoy it. If you are looking for this to be the catch-all, end-all, be-all, this is what I want to use for my work device going forward, and I really need it to do all of these things, maybe give it a month or two to see if they work some of these bugs out. I have a hard time saying, yes, unequivocally go out and go buy it. Honestly, I think that would be a little irresponsible of me at this point, just because it does have some hangups. For somebody like me who just wants to play with it, I wanted to review it, it wasn't that big of a deal for me to buy it, then yeah, I'm really enjoying it in some ways. And I'm kind of just touching the tip of the iceberg when it comes down to productivity and getting to use some of the cool features that it has, like the dual screen operability, stretching it across both screens, having 2 apps running simultaneously on both sides. I mean, there are some cool things that it can do. And I think it's probably the most unique and novel device. I'm not using the word phone, device of 2020, because I don't even know if you can call it a phone. I mean, you can open it up and you can talk on the phone like this, which is cool, and it works just fine as a phone. You've got the handset speaker, all that jazz. But see, the thing is it's not really designed primarily to be a phone. It's designed to be a work and productivity device. And I don't even want to say necessarily that. I mean, it is. Yes, it's 100% a productivity device. But it also does other things that people will enjoy too. And I gotta say, I really enjoy holding it like this, like a book. especially like laying in bed at night. It's great for reading. I decided to go ahead and download the Kindle app, so I'm going to start reading some books with it. It's really nice being able to use both screens at the same time. The camera on it is I think the best way people have kind of described it is it's more, I think of it more as a webcam than I do as like a camera. There's not any part of me that would say, you know what, honey, let's go to the zoo today and take pictures with my Surface Duo. Can you go to the zoo and take pictures with your Surface Duo? Yes, you can. You can take some perfectly decent pictures. They're nothing that I would say, here's the thing. If you got a Note 20 and it took pictures like this with the amazing cameras that it has, you would be mad. If you got a productivity device, if you walked around with your Microsoft Surface at the zoo and took pictures, you'd be like, it's all right. This is better than that. So it doesn't take bad pictures. Of course, there are some samples there that you got to see. Low light is absolutely terrible. This is not a photography first, consumer experience first device. This is really designed to where you can have all the functionality of a phone, but really it's like being able to have a Surface Pro in your pocket, kind of, but also have all the access to apps and everything else. So it's really cool. I really enjoy it. It's neat, but I think maybe give it, if you're really excited about this device and you really want it to live up to its full potential, I would say maybe wait a month or two just to give it some time and then see. If you really, really just have to have it right now, sure, you can go buy it. And I think you'll enjoy it, but you're going to run into some of these stumbles that I was talking about, some of the quirks, some of the issues that it's having. And of course, Microsoft is like the greatest software company in the world. Microsoft, they made Windows. I mean, they've done some really good things. I think that they're going to get these things worked out. And I think it's going to be okay. But the thing is right now, it's just not there. It's like 90, 85% there. And that doesn't mean you can't have an enjoyable experience with it. There are some people I've seen that are like, oh my gosh, I absolutely love this thing. I'm not in the absolutely love this thing category, but I'm in the really like this thing category. And I think it has a lot of potential and it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's neat. It's really a learning process. Normally when you get a phone, you pick it up and it's just a continuation of what you normally do. When you use the Surface Duo, it's like, kind of like if you're a PC user and you pick up a Mac for the first time, except slightly more intuitive. It's like, all right, here's some things that feel familiar, but it's kind of like you grow into the device. And then when you go back to using a regular phone like this, it's like, wow, this is different. And not different in a bad way, different in, I think, a good way. And I think a lot of people really want this phone to succeed. But overall, I like it. The performance is solid whenever it's working properly. Never have I sat down and said, you know what, this thing only has a Snapdragon 855 in it. It performs perfectly fine. I haven't been able to test out the Xbox games yet. I'm really looking forward to that. I missed out on the beta, so I can't play them until they come out on like the 15th. So I'm going to do my full review, of course, in like a week or so after I've really been able to use it. But this is really like a 72-hour first impressions, thoughts on the video now that on the phone, now that I've had some time to use it. And yeah, I like it. But you know, there's some asterisks and some check marks next to a couple of things that need addressing, and we'll see about it moving forward. But overall, yes, when it's working properly, I think that it's probably going to be worth the $1,400 price tag to the target demographic that it's being sold to. I mean, there's clearly been a lot of money that's gone into this folding hinge, all the cool things. I mean, the hinge is legit. I do like it a lot. I like the way it's fully articulating, flips around, it's smooth, you can stop it in any position. You've got the fingerprint sensor, the volume rocker, the power button, all that stuff on the side. It's a really interesting, and it feels well built. It's solid construction, and I think I offended a few people in my impressions video before when I went and looked at it at Best Buy because I said it didn't feel premium. It doesn't. I think that the best way to say it is it doesn't feel like your normal expectations of a premium smartphone because it's not a premium smartphone. It's a Surface Duo. I didn't want to give anyone the impression that it doesn't feel like it's quality or well made. It just, when you pick up like an iPhone 11 Pro, you pick up a Note 20 Ultra, you pick up a Fold, there's like this polished, refined metal glass. I mean, it has Gorilla Glass 5 on the front and the back. It doesn't really feel like it though, but it does. It just doesn't have that same feeling. And I think that's okay because it's not the same. It's a Duo that can make phone calls but runs Android as opposed to a premium flagship smartphone. Two completely different categories. If you separate those in your head, but realize that it still has an underlying phone operating system, then I think you'll get it. At least in my mind, that's kind of how it works. But that's all I've got on the Surface Duo. I like it. I think, yes, of course, like I said, there are check marks and asterisks we got to worry about with it moving forward, but if anyone's going to fix it, I think it's going to be Microsoft. And I think that they're in this for the long haul. People have concerns like, oh, they're just going to make it and abandon it. I don't think they're going to abandon this one, guys. Would I like to see other things in the future in a second model, like, you know, if they can somehow fit wireless charging in it, if they can give it an IP rating, if they can put more flagship premium hardware in it? Yeah, I think that maybe the next generation, and a lot of people are saying, I'm really looking forward to the next one. I'm looking forward to getting to know the first one and enjoy it the way that it's supposed to be. And then we'll see what happens next year. But that's all I've got. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section. I'll get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.